So in this second part of the video, we are going to look at uploading our own code to BitBucket using ToirtoiseHG, and we're going to use the right-click button to try and make this as straightforward as possible. So the easiest way is, again, in my repos folder where all of my BitBucket or the code that I'm also putting on BitBucket sits. I have created a new folder here, and within that folder is my code, and I've got a header file here, and then I've compiled this and I've run the program, and so I'm happy for this code to go up to BitBucket to be reviewed, but in a private repository. So let's go back and just look at my folder here. So I'm going to right click on my folder, and I've got some options here, and I'm going to basically choose ToirtoiseHG and create repository here. And you can show it in the workbench after init, that's fine. I'm just going to click on create. We don't need to tick the middle box there, so I just click on create, and it just starts up the workbench. I don't necessarily need this up, so I'm just going to close this. Now the other thing I need to do is I need to right click on here and then click on commit, and what this does is it stores a local snapshot of my work at this moment in time. So when you commit your files, when you run that command, the only file you're really interested in is the CPP file and the header file, which is part of the project. We don't really want to do anything with the exe file because that's created every time we make a change to our program. And in this box here, we have to type in a message to basically describe the change or what it is that we're doing here. So this particular version, I've got, I'm going to put this in present tense, so I'm just going to say uses iString stream for input. And then at the bottom, I just click on commit, and it will say add these files, and I'm just going to say yes, I'm happy with that, add those files, and now I can close this. So that just all happens with a right click. Now the next thing I need to do is to be able to upload it, and I only need to do this once per project. I am going to create a repository just for that. So I'm going to give it a name and a description to just explain what it is. This is initial okay, so we're just going to fill that bit in, and it's a mercurial repository type. You can have both of these to start with, that might be helpful, and then the language for this particular one is C++, and then I'm just going to say create repository. Now at this moment we can now select the option I have an existing project to push up, and this is the URL I need to upload the code to here. So I'm just going to right click, copy this code, and go back to my folder that I want to upload, right click, and I am going to choose ToirtoiseHG and then synchronize. And that option is going to ask where I want to place this. So I want to place it here. I can even save this and give it a name. So this is my BitBucket. I can't remember what I called the repository. Oh, I called it session 15. Just so it's just a handy way of seeing the alias here. And once I'm happy with the save, I just now need to click on push outgoing changes, and here it will give me a message to say that it's looking through the changes that have been made, and it will upload the files. Okay, so 2 files have been uploaded. So now when I go back to my repository and I go and have a look at the source, I have got the 2 files that I need looking at uploaded here automatically. I can now, under Overview, send an invitation to, well, you will send an invitation to me, so you just type in dishwork. I think that should be enough, or maybe you have to type in dishwork@gmail.com, and then you just click on share, and then I'll be able to have a look at your code and give you feedback on that. So that's uploading code. Now what happens next? So I'll give you some feedback on your code, and then what you might want to do is open it up and make changes to it. So the same code, the same folder that you've been working in, you open up your code, you might make changes, let's say quite substantial changes to your code, and then save it, compile it, make sure it all runs. And so now what you'll see a little exclamation mark next to this to say that it hasn't been, the word is it's not been committed. So let's go back to our folder, and the folder will also have the exclamation mark icon next to it. So now to upload this, I'm just going to right click, and I'm going to first of all do a commit. So that's the file I need to make changes to. So again, the commit message needs to go in here. So updated, or actually it's present tense, so update string to giraffe, and then commit. And once I've done a commit and it disappears out of this list, I can now, that will disappear in a minute, but I can now do a right click and choose synchronize, and this is where I want to send it to. It's already saved, and I can now just say push outgoing changes to selected URL, and it will update that one file. Okay, so that's been done, and so if I now go back to Bitbucket and click on source, the changed file will now be available to have a look at. So that's basically how we are going to manage code and manage changes to code and manage developing code. And I'll be able to see this because when you first set it up, you invited me to it.